Welcome everybody to our January 20th City Commission meeting. Thank you all for being here. We will call this meeting to order, and if you will please rise if you can. I'll look to Nikki to lead us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mayor. As we begin this meeting, let us all take a moment to reflect together, each according to our own individual beliefs and intentions, and offer a moment of silence for the loss of the Dunedin community with the passing of Alice Anderson, a longtime resident and volunteer for the city of Dunedin. May Alice's husband, Tom, all her loved ones, and the Dunedin community feel comfort in this time of loss and strength and hope to face the next day. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Nikki. All right, now it's time to go into presentations. And today we have the Witches of Dunedin. Come on down, ladies. Now, for those who are not familiar with the Witches or haven't had the opportunity to see them, they take the month of October, appropriately so with Halloween, to perform on Friday and Saturday nights throughout the month of October, and they raise money for a particular charity. We had intended to have them perform in the fall for us here, and unfortunately with many other things happening, we couldn't make that happen. But they are here today to present a check, and I think I'll call Jocelyn and Manny Koutsarias forward. So they have raised money for the George J. Koutsarias Dunedin for Youth Scholarship Fund, which of course affects our camping program. So I'll turn it over to you, Allison.
Okay, well, we present this check on behalf of the Witches of Dunedin. We enjoy dancing around our town in the month of October, and we were very happy and touched to raise this money for the youth for the summer camp kids. We hope it sends a lot of kids to camp in honor of your son.
Can I take my mask off?
You may.
I just want to say, first of all, on November the 1st last year, I had a phone call from Vince Gizzi, and he informed me that the Witches of Dunedin had raised money for the Parks and Recreation, the George Koutsarias Scholarship Fund. And I said, what are you talking about? It was the day after Halloween, November the 1st, and he's sitting there telling me that the witches of Dunedin. I said, I didn't know we had witches. Now I've learned a little bit more about the witches, and all I can say is, well, keep doing it. Let me just say a few words. Most of you that are in this room tonight didn't know my son, probably never heard of him. A few of you did. And I'd like to, if you don't mind, take about 30 minutes to give you a little background.
Never give a former mayor a microphone.
Well, George was born and raised here in Dunedin. He was born in Clearwater, but raised here in Dunedin. And he attended all the schools, San Jose and Dunedin Elementary, and he attended Dunedin High School and graduated in 1981. During that time, he was a Little League ball player, and a pretty good one. He made All-Stars a couple of times. And he also played football and baseball in high school. And he was a pretty good student. I wasn't as good a student as he was. Let me put it that way. He was a much better student than I was. But George had a little misfortune. Not a little, a tremendous misfortune. But nevertheless, after he passed, which was on June the 9th, 1983, a day that will live in infamy, when he passed, I, as a member of the Dunedin City Commission, tried to think of something that I could do for the city that would have his name on it, and carry it on for a while. Well, I started thinking of the city of Clearwater. Clearwater had an organization known as the Clearwater for Youth. It was a fund, and what they did with that money that came in was they were instrumental in keeping kids active in sports and developed some very good football, baseball, and basketball teams over the years. And I thought Dunedin would be able to do the same thing. And the thing that I came up with was a Dunedin for Youth Fund through our Parks and Recreation Department. And let me just tell you that if it weren't for the Parks and Recreation staff, this wouldn't have been a success. They have done a tremendous job with Vince Gizzi's leadership and with the City Commission's support. They've done a great job in keeping it going and keeping it active. They've changed the name to the Scholarship Fund, which is great. The main purpose behind it is, number one, to keep kids busy and out of trouble and make them good citizens. At the same time, teach them things like sportsmanship, teamwork, and help those that are in financial need. That's the important thing, is to help kids and keep them busy. And George went through, and my son Mike both went through the Dunedin Recreation Program. And had it not been for people like Pat Kennedy and Sarah Kissinger and Peggy Cummins, if it wasn't for people like that, I mean, they were very instrumental in molding kids and making them good. And you know what? I think you'll admit and know that the crime rate in Dunedin is not as bad as it could be elsewhere. Thank you, ladies, very, very much. I certainly do appreciate it, and I'm sure the Parks and Recreation Department also appreciates it. I'll just turn it over to you.
How much is that check?
What's that?
How much?
$7,000.
Wow.
So briefly, I'd like to say Jocelyn Broadhead, Recreation Superintendent for the record. I hope that we have honored George's memory and the tenets that you just outlined for that scholarship program. I've worked with the program for a number of years now, and I have to say it's been incredibly rewarding to see firsthand the opportunities that are provided to children through the scholarship fund. As many of you know, they provide programming opportunities for before and after school and summer camps. and give parents peace of mind during the workday. We keep them safe, engaged, having fun, good sportsmanship, good citizens. Those are all goals and priorities in our programs. The fund, just as a quick snapshot, over the past 2 years has awarded over $31,000 to kids and served roughly 40 children in our programs. Let me check my notes real quick here. It does rely heavily on charitable support from organizations and groups such as yours, so we are so incredibly thankful on behalf of the Parks and Rec Department and Mr. Koutsourais. Thank you so much for this support and for loving our Dunedin kids. Thank you.
We do.
Thank you.
My son was a Dunedin kid.
I gotta see you girls in action.
So Allison, Manny, you need to know that Allison knew George too. She went to school with him. We all went to school together.
He was a ham.
Oh, yeah.
He was handsome, too.
Oh, yeah. We all had crushes on him.
Like his dad, right? Like his dad.
Well, luckily he didn't get my height.
And my son's grown up in all of the Dunedin programs as well.
So Allison, why don't you just tell us a little bit about you guys and what's your next mission?
Well, we got this together. I just saw a Facebook post of this dance, and I wanted to bring it to the city of Dunedin. And long story short, I got a bunch of women that decided to dress up and do it with me.
Good.
And every October, we get our hats and our brooms and our costumes on, and we have fun every weekend and dance and raise money for different local charities. And we love doing it.
I see you.
We don't have anything outside of October. We stick to October.
Well, I think it would probably kill you guys to do beyond October. I mean, that's a lot of work and a lot of practice.
We do like to be a little spontaneous, though, and keep our schedule a little secret so people don't know exactly where we're going to be.
And people love it. They
We
love
like
the
hearing
hints.
all the,
They
well,
love the
do you
hints.
know where the witches are going to be? Yep. So we have grown. We have gotten a presence this past season. This is our third season. We were on Bay News 9 and in the Tampa Bay Times.
Yeah.
You're doing such good stuff.
You guys have done great, each and every one of you, and we're so appreciative. You just add to the charm and the character of who we are.
We love
Mayor,
Dunedin.
Mayor, I just wanted to say, well, two things. First of all, my partner's Peg Cummings, and trust me, all through the years she drilled in about Dunedin for Youth, how important that fund was. I didn't get a chance to meet your son. I came a year after that, Manny's, but obviously, great guy. But I did want to say with the witches, because I was talking to Leslie Vians, and she told me how hard everybody wants to be in the witches, but then, like, to actually commit to the witches is huge. I mean, you have to, like, literally, other than giving up your firstborn child, like, you got to give up, like, a lot of time for practice and have to be available every weekend during the time period you do it. So I just commend you guys, and you're doing it for a great cause. So thank you. Thank you.
Very thankful. Yes, ma'am.
And, I want to say what I love is your costumes. I mean, that is so creative. And when we see you out at night, they're all sparkling, and it's just really wonderful. And it really is the charm of Dunedin. I can't see it happening anywhere else except our Dunedin. So thank you all
The
so
costumes
much.
just get better and better.
I went to one practice. I was a nightmare. I couldn't stay in step.
I'll bring the drinks.
Yeah, I would do it.
I'll drive the golf carts. I'll hold the light.
You know what I love about you guys is the spontaneity. And every place that you guys go, we never know where you're going to be. And all of a sudden, we'll be sitting there, and somebody will say to me, "Well, what is that?" I said, "Oh, this is the witches." And they say, "What?" And I have to go and explain it. Manny, you ought to go and see this sometime. You're going to get swept away. You'll get swept away if you go and watch this.
Yeah.
They have their brooms.
Yep.
I gotta get out of my cocoon.
All right, well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Oh, do you want me to do my little point of order?
Why don't you wait until after the next
Okay,
presentation?
you tell me.
Okay, so the next presentation,
Could I add to that presentation?
there'll be time for citizen input.
It's not citizen input. I'd like to donate some money to that fund.
Oh, follow Jocelyn.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, our next presentation is our City of Dunedin Martin Luther King Jr. Essay Contest winners. So Phyllis, would you please bring our winners forward?
Great. Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Phyllis Gorshey, Library Director for the City of Dunedin. And we just got to hear about a wonderful way to raise funds for our Dunedin youth, and now we're going to recognize some of our Dunedin youth. The City of Dunedin Martin Luther King Jr. Essay Contest is held in partnership with our Martin Luther King Day event. And so I want to thank our Parks and Recreation Department and Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church for the wonderful event that they held. Our essay winners read their essays at that event, and the essays can be found online also through our city. This year's winners come from Dunedin Highland Middle School and Garrison Jones Elementary. So I want to recognize their principals, Michael Vassallo and Jen Tapia, for supporting this program. And I think what is really impressive is the teachers that are involved. And tonight we have Mr. Milo from Dunedin Highland Middle School, who was a City of Dunedin Teacher of the Year, and Mrs. Valentino from Garrison Jones Elementary. And we have such wonderful teachers in our city, and just the past 2 years and how they have worked. And I want to thank them for all of their support of our Dunedin schools and our program. So I want to call up our winners. We have Hannah Bruce, Evie Giselle Sturgis, Justina Kakula, Sarah Melina Mahecha, and Jamari McQueen, if they could come up. With our Parks and Recreation Department, we have a special certificate of recognition signed by the mayor with a nice little gift to Barnes & Noble, of course, because we love reading. So I'd like to present that to Hannah. There we go. And Evie, Evie's yours. Justina's not here. And Sarah. And Jamari. So congratulations. Thank you all.
Yay, good job, great job.
They're too quick, but we're going to do some pictures outside.
Okay.
So thank you so much for recognizing this program.
Thank you, and thank you guys. The essays were wonderful, and if you didn't get a chance to hear them, you can certainly read them online. And of course, our liaison to our schools, which is Vice Mayor Kynes. I know that makes you, or I'm sorry, now Commissioner Gao.
Yeah.
I know that makes everybody so happy when we have that kind of involvement in our community. Okay, you had something you want to do?
Yes, just a quick point of order. I just wanted to say, I can be wrong, and we got a beautiful email from Vicki Love, and she said, I respect that you want to keep your mask on when you're not talking, but if you're talking, sometimes it's very difficult for us to hear, and particularly if it's hearing impaired. And she said, take the mask off when you talk. And that was I think you all came up with that idea also. I just want to say, I can be wrong, and I totally agree that that is the correct thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, and I could add to that, I think Vicki made a point that because we have the plexiglass, because we've got a lot of distance, that, that's why she said it would be helpful for us when we talk. So thank you, Commissioner Kynes. Vice Mayor Kynes, sorry.
All right, now's the time for citizen input. Anybody wishing to come forward and speak to any item that is not already on the agenda, please feel free to do so. Give us your name and address for the record. The clock is above my head. You'll get 3 minutes.
First, I'd like to just say that I will be donating $3,500 towards the kids. That's pretty interesting what they're doing.
Thank you, Eric.
As a resident and a local business owner. It's always a time to give back, and what Parks and Rec does in the area, it's amazing. So, all Dunedin employees are expected to keep in mind that they are servants of the public and to conduct themselves in a way that will credit the city government, public officials, fellow employees, and themselves. Each employee is responsible to demonstrate the highest standards of trust, honesty, and integrity in order to maintain public confidence. Once again, I seek answers from the Commission due to no MAC meetings to discuss important rules that may be violated. I've emailed a letter to the City Commission this afternoon, or to the City Commission the afternoon of the last meeting. It addressed possible rule violations that are not being enforced that could carry evictions from the marina. I have been served 2 eviction notices since the marina management was hired, both with no communication from city staff until I was forced to address the issues and resolved easily. Since then, I have learned that city rules and writings are enforced unequally. I addressed the Commission as an outsider to the staff, not personal friends. What I have learned over the last few years are these statements from boat owners. I am friends with members of the elected officials. I will just go to them to get my way, and I watch it work almost every time, directly bypassing the harbor master. So here I am out in public to discuss these matters. Astonishingly, the letter provided to the Commission stated that I would be attacked for asking about possible rule violations along with questionable spending. Only 30 hours later, myself and friends were attacked, insulted, and lied about, even threatened to be sued, although this bully never asked for my document. I believe the information was internally passed to them by his friends, the elected officials. Attacks on personal and business pages don't faze me. Oddly enough, it's been nearly 2 years since FWC Officer Ferguson had business at my company. Oddly enough, but mysteriously yesterday he sends a text from FWC, won't provide inspections required by law. Nepotism? I have only told the truth and have documented many concerns. I have asked to purchase marine waste treatment system for my vessel in question, but was told to hold off. This rule was discussed over 15 years ago, and that's why the zero discharge, treated or untreated, was put in place. How can we have a clean harbor marina rating while discharging into our water? My goals are to have safe marina for everyone with rules equally enforced, not to cause expense to some and not to others. It's nice to have friends in high places.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to come forward?
Hi, Carolyn James, 2470 Bayshore Boulevard. I'm only reading half of this. If you guys want to read it, you can read it on your own. It has been discovered it is not only our marina that is desperately in need of attention, but most city departments. Our current city management needs investigation and help. Our city manager has too much on her plate, which leads to rushed, incomplete, and poor decision-making. City employees are being placed in positions that they are not qualified for in most departments. The result is creating problems. It is time for the commission to step in and resolve this issue. This does not mean shuffling employees to different departments. Hire people who can get the job done well. What marine and boat work experience does the deputy city manager have? Our city needs workers, not politicians. Citizens are bullied by staff due to city management allowing and promoting bullying behavior. Information from slip renters should be encouraged, not ignored by city officials. Marina rents should stop being collected until a harbor master is found and staff is successful. City Commission is letting its citizens down by not acting on this problem. Slip renters.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to come forward?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Stephen Hyde. I live at 1601 Santa Ana Drive. I want to congratulate you on opening Hammock Park to off-leash hours. That was a good idea when you started it. It's no longer a good idea. My dog's been attacked 8 times. I bring my dog there on leash and I walk him at the far end of the park. I have people with pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Rhodesian Ridgebacks, dogs that are bred to guard, attack, to protect people, and they're off leash. The owners sit in circles and they're oblivious to it. I looked up insurance companies and dogs that are blacklisted. They will not insure them. We have 7 out of 10 of the dogs running loose in Hammock Park. My question is this: somebody that moves to our beautiful village goes to Hammock Park. It doesn't say anything online about it being a dog park. It isn't. And they're attacked. Who's liable? The city or the dog owner? I walk my dog there twice a day. There have been 3 pit bull attacks in the last 4 days. Unless the police see blood or a dead dog, there's nothing they can do. If I'm attacked, who's liable? The city or the dog owner? I've been attacked personally by a man with a knife for suggesting his pit bull should be on a leash on one of the trails coming into Osprey Loop in Hammock Park. My life's been threatened 5 times. I have a working relationship with Corporal Wilson, Sergeant Redmond, Sergeant Street, Deputy Fallahy. It's just out of control now. I believe, Mayor Bujalski, you were there on a Sunday and you were quoted in one of the articles I reviewed. Dogs are off leash. I have a video of people greeting me at Hammock Park on a Sunday. Their verbiage is extremely vulgar. They said 7 o'clock in the morning. These people are showing up with dogs that are bred to, again, protect from 7 a.m., like punching a clock and leaving at 9. I don't understand why we can't do anything. I was on Nextdoor Dunedin, and I had a plethora of people sending me private messages. This is from a woman in Ozona. They say behavior problems start with owners believe, for the most part, is true. They're in denial about their dog's behavior. She won't come back. I have a dozen of these at my house. Everyone says it's the same argument. You don't like it, go away. Don't come here anymore. Chihuahuas bite more than a pit bull, and they're right. But if a Chihuahua attacks me, I may get a Band-Aid, maybe a stitch. If a pit bull attacks me, I may get a toe tag. There's a difference. It's not fair for seniors, for children, for families to be walking into a park that's not safe. I'm asking for your help. We've had a camera there for 30 days. For 30 days, people behaved. The camera was removed. We're back to the same old, same old. When the deputies show up, people behave. When the deputies are not there, same old, same old. Saturday, Sunday, on leash time, off leash time. I'm suggesting at this point that I hate to waste the deputies' time, but to stop off-leash hours at Hammock Park and to have it patrolled.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else wish to come forward? Okay. Jennifer, I know you've worked with the Sheriff's Department on the dog issue. Do you have anything you want to say or have them come forward and say?
No, I don't have anything to add, other than I know that the Sheriff's Department is very active in the park. And as far as ensuring that the hours of the dogs are off leash are honored and respected. So I don't know if Deputy Fallahy has anything more to add about some of our enforcement efforts.
Commission, Deputy Fallahy, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, Community Policing Dunedin. I don't really have anything more to offer other than to assure you that we are out there on a regular basis. Mr. Hyde is not the only complainer of these off-leash hours. He is one of the most vocal, but he is definitely not the only. My biggest concern is when people get to a point where they're frustrated, they just vacate the area, and when events happen, they don't even call us. I can't verify one way or the other regarding what Mr. Hyde said about the pit bull attacks the last 2 days. I did hear about that today, but there was no report for it. So nobody ever called. Just so you know, we are out there. Mr. Hyde talked about the video camera that was out there. We have portable video surveillance trailers. We've deployed it in that area twice now for a 30-day period both times. And when we reviewed the video while the camera was there were no violations. When we're there in uniform, there are no violations. There are some folks who shortly after hours, because as you know, it's from 7 in the morning till 9 in the morning, and then from 4 in the afternoon till 6 in the afternoon during weekdays. But we'll show up at 6:15, 6:30, and there'll still be people off leash. We'll show up at 9:15, 9:30, there'll still be people off leash. And they'll apologize, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize what time it was. So again, he's not the only complainer by any means.
I think there are probably more directed patrols in that area because of this issue than
There
other
are a
areas.
significant number of directed patrols in the area. Last year, we were in the park 123 times.
Mhm.
Not specifically for directed patrols, in total.
And Additionally, we have a parks person who works part-time on the Causeway as well as part-time at Hammock.
We do.
And also monitors what's happening out there, right?
Yes.
Yep. So not only it's sheriff, but part-time park ranger, if you
Sure.
will.
And my biggest encouragement to anybody who's watching this is that if you do see a violation of off-leash hours, whether it be off-leash in the park where they're not supposed to be off-leash, or off-leash beyond the allowable hours in the allowable area, please call, because we can't respond if we don't know about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, I absolutely feel like everybody can come forward and say what they need to say and not feel hindered. But I also have that opportunity, and I want to say that every one of our department heads is extremely qualified in our city. They're extremely professional. They have degrees and special training. So I just didn't want them to think that we feel that way. So I felt that that was important to say.
Thank you, Mayor.
And Jennifer, also, you will address any concerns regarding the marina, as we said at the last meeting, and I believe the meeting towards the end of last year.
We
correct?
will, and we've had several meetings to that end.
Yes, thank you. Yes?
Well, I guess, I know that there's this off-leash time, but I've never totally understood it. Don't really know the people that go there. I guess it's very popular, but what's the difference between off-leash time in this area versus our dog park?
We're going to have Vince come up.
It's training. It got started for trainers. That's how it started. Because the park that we had over at, by Garrison didn't have as much running space as the old Youth Guild Park does, because it's not off-leash all throughout Hammock. It's the area by the
It's
church.
the area where the BMX track was.
Yeah.
I know where it is.
Yeah. Yep, and so it was for the trainers that lived over there. And that's what they use it for. I mean, other people use it for other things, but it's a much bigger space.
And those that are off leash are supposed to heed to voice commands,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was the original intent, was for training your dogs and not being in an enclosed area like a off-leash dog park. So we tried to keep it to hours that the park isn't used as much, which was from 4 to 6 weekdays and
7 to 9.
7 to 9. So in the mornings, so that was the original intent. But it's grown into more than that.
And
I was going to say, how many people actually utilize it?
There's probably 15, 20 dogs per day, at least in the morning.
And I think when we build our second dog park, we can revisit all of that. I mean, we don't have a place for them now, but when we do our dog park over at Sterling.
And that was all part of the original ordinance for dogs on leash. And there was a lobbying effort to people that train their dogs to have a place to do that at the city manager's discretion.
When we
Hours
pass
and-
the leash law.
Yeah, just one last question, because I get it. This isn't the place we're going to talk this through, but, so the complaints that we've had are dogs that go after dogs that are not in that park area, or they're somewhere else, or?
They're walking by that area.
They're walking
on
by.
leash, and dogs are running after them, I believe, and balls are being thrown or frisbees are being thrown in those directions. And so I think that's some of the concerns of the Sheriff's Department that Deputy Fallahy and I have spoken about.
Yeah, so I guess our position is that from what we've observed over the last year, just since June, we've had 14 specific calls for service in that off-leash area for dogs not being trained. So it's not being utilized, from our observations, it's not being utilized as a training facility area. It's simply being used as a dog park to bring your dog to that area to play off-leash. So from what we've seen in the last year, it is not currently being utilized for the purposes that it was designed.
Yeah, so, obviously that's a staff issue, but I get it, and if, we certainly don't want to have dogs attacking dogs, so. Or people, thank you, yeah.
Vice Mayor?
You know, I was going to say, why can't you just leave I mean, I don't know how much this surveillance cameras cost, so maybe that is the issue, but why don't you just leave them up? I mean, you know, if you're saying, I'm going to put them up, we're going to put them up for 30 days, and then everybody sort of quiets down, and as soon as they're gone, then you go back to the other behavior. So, again, I don't know how much the surveillance cameras
Right.
cost.
Well, that is the issue. I mean, the surveillance camera trailers that we utilize, I don't know how much they were purchased for, but they were sizably expensive. We have 4 of them at the sheriff's office, and they're controlled by our intelligent-led policing unit. So they determine based on crime activities where they're going to go for that 30-day period. So the only reason that we were able to put them in hammock in the first place is because I requested it, and there was no other operational need for it at the time. So, like, for example, right now, there are 2 down in Madeira Beach for the Seafood Festival this weekend, and 1 at the Criminal Justice Complex, because there was some threats there last night, so.
Okay.
I'd like to say something about this as well then. I'm very concerned about this. I love dogs, everybody knows, most people know that. I have always had dogs. But it seems to me like the intent is not being followed here. And I would not want my kids, if I had smaller kids right now, in that area and have this occur. It's very, very scary. I've lived in the mountains in Colorado, and you could choose to let your dog run, but if you did, and anybody saw it, and anybody had any fear, there was going to be a big problem. And I won't go into the details of that. But we don't do that here. We can't do that here. We can't provide ourselves that protection. So what do you do if a big dog comes after you, and it's not our intent for that dog to be in that area doing that? So it's not fair to the person that's walking the dog, and it's not fair to the human that's walking in that area, in my opinion. And that's a safety issue. And I'm not talking about suits, I'm talking about safety. I also don't want to be attacked by a big dog. So I think we need to look into this further. And if it involves cameras, well, perhaps we have to purchase. That may not be a solution. As you said, we don't need to work through this here. But you could post cameras up in the tree someplace. But obviously the intent's not being followed. And I think we have an issue here, and I think we ought to deal with it. So I'll leave it at that.
Mayor, if I may?
Yeah, hang on just one second. I also want to add that we did have this problem about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And there were equally as many people on the other side of this issue. So I just want to remind everyone of that, because, you know, there are some personal disputes going on in this situation as well. So I absolutely think we shouldn't be making any decisions.
I'm just basing what I'm hearing right here from our own professionals.
I know.
Thank you.
Commissioner.
It's certainly even from the time when I was involved with Friends of the Hammock, dogs off leash in Hammock Park has always been an issue. And any time that was ever addressed or discussed, the purpose of them being off leash was, and this is my first time tonight hearing of the reason why we have that. And so I'm wondering how many of those people who have their dogs off leash during those hours understand the purpose of that. Do we have any signage? Are we telling the public the reason it's off leash is so you're training your dog? So for those who aren't training their dog, but they just want their dogs off leash, that's not the place to do it.
I don't know what the sign says. I know the sign has the hours, but I don't know that it has that. Okay, so I think we've gotten some information. Jennifer, you've heard the concerns. You'll work with the Sheriff's Department. You'll work with our parks person who spends his time there. And, you know, maybe we can get an update on the dog park for Sterling, because really, I think once we get that and it's larger than what it was over there and larger than Achieva, then we can possibly replace the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know. Okay? Thank you. Jennifer, anything else you wanted to add?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to our action items. We have application for an annexation of 0.22 acre parcel land by the Islamic Society of North Pinellas located on New York Avenue. It is the second reading. Nikki, do you want to swear people in and then read the annexation ordinance 2137 by title only?
Sorry, I was going to ask if staff was planning on presenting an updated application. So if anyone's going to speak on these items, I'll just go ahead and swear everyone in at one time. So if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you'll give to the city commission today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And that's because one of your ordinances is a zoning ordinance, but we'll otherwise try to streamline them so that you only hear one presentation. So I'll go ahead and read ordinance 2137 by title only. Thank you. An ordinance of the city of Dunedin, Florida, annexing certain real property located along New York Avenue, parcel number 272815 62910 003 Sorry, Commissioner Kynes. Thank you for the note for people who have difficulty hearing. With designated meets and bounds and totaling approximately .22 acres into the corporate limits of the city, providing for filing with the clerk of court and providing for an effective date. And this has been reading of ordinance 2137 on second reading by title only.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Vice Mayor Kynes and Commissioner Gao. Thank you. George.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. I'll try to do this very quickly and briefly, but I did want to kind of run through the presentation quick, so if there's any public out here that's interested in it, they'll have the opportunity to see at least where the property is located at. As was indicated, this is a voluntary annexation request. The property is located on New York Avenue. It's requesting annexation from unincorporated Pinellas County into the city of Dunedin, and does, as was mentioned, include a future land use designation change and a zoning change. The map that you see before you indicates the property location. It's actually just slightly north of Main Street, and you can kind of see that it's sandwiched in between New York Avenue and Orange Avenue, which abuts it to the rear. This is just a closer look at that same petition area. Again, the subject property against New York Avenue from a frontage standpoint. The outline in red are the enclaves, and as you can see, this particular piece of property fits within that enclave. It's approximately 0.22 acres, or a little bit less than 10,000 square feet. As was indicated, the proposed land use request, as the property currently sits in the county, the land use designation is RU. That would be the recommended land use category as it migrates into the city of Dunedin as well. We're also proposing an RU designation. From a zoning perspective, the property is currently zoned R4 in the county, which is a multifamily residential zoning category. Consistent with that is our multifamily 7.5, which actually is identical to the zoning where the existing Islamic Society mosque is located. This is just a quick picture from New York Avenue looking west towards Orange Avenue, and you can see the mosque facility on the left, and the property in question for the annexation is that vacant piece off to the right. And this is just another shot also showing that it's currently being used for parking. There is no anticipated change for that. Once it's annexed, it will continue to be used for parking. So with that, as was mentioned, the property, again, is located in the Dunedin planning area as an enclave where annexation is anticipated and actually recommended. Between first reading and today, we have received no additional comments that have come to our office. And as you know, the local planning agency did recommend this for approval back in December 8 of 2021. So with that, staff is recommending approval of Ordinance 21-37, annexing the subject property in the city of Dunedin. Ordinance 21-38 for the land use plan designation of residential urban. And Ordinance 21-39 for the zoning district designation of multifamily residential, or MF 7.5. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for George? Okay, it says second reading. This is a public hearing. Anybody wishing to come forward and speak to this annexation, please feel free to do so. Seeing or hearing none, come back to the commission. Any final comments? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Tornga?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeney?
Aye.
Commissioner Gao?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Kynes.
Aye.
Mayor Bujalski.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. We have ordinance 21-38. Would you please read that by title only?
Ordinance 21-38, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin, Florida, amending the City of Dunedin future land use plan as adopted by Ordinance 2001 on certain real property following annexation located along New York Avenue, parcel number 272815629100030030120 with designated meets and bounds and totaling approximately .22 acres to assign a residential urban RU land use designation and providing for an effective date. This has been reading of ordinance 2138 on second reading by title only.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Franny and Vice Mayor Kynes. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to come forward and speak to the land use designation, please feel free to do so. Seeing or hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Gao.
Aye.
Commissioner Torga.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Kynes.
Aye.
Commissioner Franny.
Aye.
Mayor Bujalski.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. And then we finally have ordinance 21-39. Nikki, would you please read that for the zoning?
Ordinance 21-39, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin, Florida, zoning certain real property following annexation located along New York Avenue, parcel number 2728156291000300120, with designated meets and bounds and totaling approximately .22 acres to multifamily residential MF 7.5 and providing for an effective date. And Mayor and Commissioners, this has been reading of ordinance 2139 on second reading by title only.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to come forward and speak to the zoning of this property? Seeing or hearing none, any final questions or comments besides welcome to Dunedin? No? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
I need the motion on this.
Huh?
The motion on 21-39.
Oh.
Oh,
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner, Vice Mayor Kynes and Commissioner Gao. Yep, you're right. Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Franny.
Aye.
Commissioner Torga.
Aye.
Commissioner Gao.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Kynes.
Aye.
Mayor Bujalski.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, now we have the second reading of ordinance 21-41 in regards to doing a correction for our A, B, and C street types in downtown Dunedin.
Ordinance 21-41, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin, Florida, amending Ordinance 1912 to correct a scrivener's error in attachment and providing for an effective date. And this has been reading of Ordinance 21-41 on second reading by title only.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Torga, and I'm sorry, who was the
I
second?
think it was Commissioner Franny.
Commissioner Franny?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. George?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, again, good evening. George Kinney on behalf of the Community Development Department. I won't get into as much detail as I got into in the first reading because this is really just a Scrivener's errors correction as was articulated by the city attorney. And this request is obviously intended to correct that inadvertent error. Ordinance 1911, which was adopted back in May 16 of 2019, included a street type map Exhibit C1 dated May 6, 2019. About 6 months later, a follow-up resolution came forward, and the map was inadvertently replaced by an older version. So this simply attempts to correct that error. Only three properties are affected by this particular request. All have been noticed. We've not received comment from any of the property owners, so we are recommending at this point approval of the resolution.
Okay, any questions for George? All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to this item? Come on down, give us your name and address for the record.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good
David
evening.
Ballard Geddes Jr. I live on Georgia Avenue in Palm Harbor up by Pop Stansel Park. In conjunction with this redevelopment, are the residents soon to be burdened with the future formulation of a tax generated from such redevelopment? If so, how is this taxation to be assessed upon the civilian population going forward in the future? Does redevelopment insurrect a third-party levy upon the head of each household formulated as a direct tax, directly taxing the civilian population through the so-called redistricting of the county as enumerated from Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. As the county is so-called redistricting itself and the city is redeveloping to invoke naturalizing 14th Amendment water jurisdictions, do the residents have any personal responsibilities or obligations to financially support such political undertakings? Is the equity I have established in my home being subjected? Is my home value being assessed to pay for such county redistricting and city downtown redevelopment claimed as due process in the 14th Amendment? Thank you.
Thank you, David. Anyone else? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. David, there's no redevelopment here. It was just a map correction to the ordinance, so no taxes, no causing of any of that. Okay, any final questions for George or comments? Nope. Just happy we're fixing it and that we caught it. Yes. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Kynes. Aye. Commissioner Gao.
Aye.
Commissioner Franny.
Aye.
Commissioner Torga.
Aye.
Mayor Buchowski.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll move on to Resolution 21-30, Citywide Multimodal Transportation Plan. I'm not going to ask for a motion in the beginning on this particular one, and because people may have adjustments, I think we've talked about all the adjustments we want to make, but rather than put somebody in the position of asking the maker to adjust their motion, we'll just wait for the motion until the end. So we'll not read the resolution at this point.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Welcome back.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Frances Leong Sharp, Planner 2, on behalf of the Community Development Department. I know that we have visited this plan as a workshop item back on June 1st, 2021, and it's gone through a long and arduous journey to be brought back here for a formal adoption as a resolution of the plan. Since the workshop on June 1st, staff has been directed to reach out to the bicycle community, as mentioned by Commissioner Gao, and we have reached out to the Friends of the Pinellas Trail, and as well as for Pinellas's Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee to share our draft of our plan and ask to seek any feedback that they may have for any further modifications. And as a result of that, we did meet formally with the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee on August 16, 2021, and then reached out to the Friends of the Trail, and both have given us good feedback in terms of being complementary to the draft plan, and there were no further changes as a result of the presentation and reaching out to both of these organizations. In addition to that, we did get a request from the City Commission to highlight the priorities that were presented to them on June 1st, which are shown in the plan, that it is highlighted in that pinkish salmon color. But I did attach a separate attachment exhibit for you to easy to locate those. So I did list those out on Exhibit D for you to point out those are the priorities, strategies, and actions that the City Commission identified that the city should move forward in taking action for implementation in the near future. That concludes my presentation. So George and I are here for any questions that you may have.
Okay, I'm going to go right to you, Commissioner Gao. It's your baby, go.
When do we start? No, I really don't have any questions. Wonderful program. Thank you for reaching out. When I asked you to reach out, it wasn't out of any direct concern. It was just out of really making sure that the pedestrian and the biking community really had to look at this, because to my mind, this whole multimodal plan needs to be done through the lens of a bicyclist, and to understand what it's like to ride. And so I've got comments, I don't have questions, so actually I'll stop there, but thank you very much.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
I do have a question, and
You can do comments too,
okay, well, no, but I
Either
have
way.
a real question.
Okay.
I couldn't figure out why Edgewater Drive and Bay Shore are not in our vision corridors. And I really thought about it, and I thought, okay, it's because Douglas is our road. But then I started thinking about 580, and that's not our road, that's FDOT. So I do not understand, because FDOT has spent a lot of time, remember we had all those talks about where the safety signals should go, and, and then it should go through Bay Shore, because it's Alt 19. And so I really don't understand that. Can you explain why, that it was not made a vision corridor?
That's probably before I got here, Vice Mayor, so I'd probably have to dig into that. I'm sure there was probably some discussion on what corridors were to be focused on, and that one maybe just didn't rise to that level at that point, but we can certainly go back and
Well, even
look.
in the multimodal, I mean, if you look at what I call the Blue Crab Pier, the Fenway, I mean, that's right there. If you're looking at doing maybe that dock, that's under discussion. There's a lot of things that go all the way down that corridor, all the way down to the causeway.
Yeah, now what I will say is these policies and priorities that are coming out of this plan are citywide policies and priorities, so.
No, I get that, and I love Patricia, love it. I think that's so great. Douglas, and it was the Causeway, and what was the other
State
one?
Road 580.
State
No,
Road
I think
580.
Alt 19 is one of them.
No, it's not mentioned in the vision corridors.
If I may, I believe based on my research of visioning corridors, the corridors that were identified within this plan, as well as in the comprehensive plan, those corridors were identified based on the fact that there were corridor studies done along those roadways, and I so far have not seen a corridor study or a plan that was done for Alt 19 in general.
Was it?
Except what was that stuff, all the stuff we went to with the FDOT. I
Yeah.
mean, we were out for, days at night, saying, well, what's wrong with, where can we put the flashing lights best for pedestrians? And after that all came out, we did add 3, at least, well, actually 4, because we added one at San Christopher, the very bad place. And we added, one at, I think, Albert, Florida, and Orangewood.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, it doesn't really make sense to me that it's not part of the plan, because it has a lot of different, the trolley goes there.
We're also going to add some flashing to the north of downtown on Alt 19. I know we're working.
Absolutely, all the way, Bay Shore. I mean,
I'm looking for Jorge's face. I know they're looking for those medians, the pedestrian landings in the middle. I know that's being worked on.
Yep.
And the golf cart crossing and.
I'm sorry, Mayor, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, why don't we just add
Can
the
I make
Alt
a
19 in
I'd
there?
like to make a comment to that if it's helpful. As you pointed out, Flora Pinellas was doing those surveys for the entire Alt 19. All the way down and all the way up, they did it in sections. And there was a word they used, and I just cannot remember the word. I went to all of them, and
Yes,
it was.
those are the
what was the
corridor
word?
studies that were done by.
What was the word they used? It was about the visibility or some word that they used. They wanted people to be able to see things as they were going down and be able to go through the different.
View sheds?
Hmm?
View sheds? Is that the term you're looking for?
That's not it.
No, there's a definite word they used. So they were going to do all of that. They did all the studies. We went to the studies, and I can only assume that maybe is that we expected, because I remember us talking about the corridors that we wanted to look at. Meanwhile, Flora Pinellas was looking at that as a corridor, and maybe it just never got put together, if that's helpful. I'm just trying to be helpful.
No,
Why don't we just add alt
Yeah.
19
when
and
they
make
do
a
that-
statement as, you know, the FDOT corridor study plans that we will continue to
yeah, we
follow
can
up on
figure
that.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah, we
It was
can
a
most
safety
certainly-
and traffic, congestion's not the word,
Management.
I mean, they even talked
Study.
about, yeah, it was a major study. They talked about even, because people were really.
most of the stuff is not in the budget at FDOT, except for the Causeway intersection and the various crossings. But the redesign of the intersection at the marina,
Yeah. that
that's
was
not
the
in there.
big one.
It's nowhere.
And.
It's nowhere. As a matter of fact, I have pitched such a fit about it that they've added you'll find this funny, Jennifer, an asterisk with a note on our various documents so it doesn't get forgotten. Because it's not just our city, it's all the cities. They did all that work and
Yeah.
they picked maybe 5 things from Tarpon all the way to St. Pete that they would do, and all the other things are not on the list.
But shouldn't we keep pushing?
Yes, so I think that's what, I think we should just mention it, and that there was that study, find the exact study and maybe a website link or something you can put on it. And
So Mayor, you're adopting by resolution, then staff can work up that verbiage and include it within here, and then just report back to you via email what that verbiage is, if that's okay.
Yeah, just as long as you.
I don't need to know the verbiage, I just need to know it's there.
You know.
I'll try to remember the word for you so you can look. Doggone
It's
it.
in the vision corridors, and they were spelled out, but it was not added. So.
Yeah, I was just going to add, I don't know that it adds much, but I really do think the 5 vision corridors came out of the 2005 vision study.
It did.
And I don't know that there was
They
a
did.
rhyme or reason that Alt 19 wasn't, right? So, I mean, it sounds logical to add it.
Well, especially for bicycle and pedestrian, given that everything that's happening there is affecting bicycles and pedestrians.
Well, and I guess that was my question. I guess that's important to identify, but even if we were to leave that out, this is citywide, so it's
Yeah, it's still gonna cover it.
It's, right, okay.
Yes, it's covered one way or another.
The city manager just, I think she remembered the name, it was called the Scenic Corridor.
Well, that was for Edgewater.
A scenic vista.
That's Edgewater, that's not.
It's a scenic
Bayshore.
vista.
No, they took this all the way all the way to the top, all the way down to the bottom. Same concept, although different, looking at different, so for example, they had the I won't even say the word because everybody gets excited, the circular patterns in some of the areas and not in others, and it depended on what was happening, so great point, and it was called the scenic part of it, so it's, thank you.
But I
Thank
think
you.
there was also arts and culture in there as well.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Arts
you
and
know-
culture,
Making it a
economic
boulevard.
development.
And it does have a lot with the linear park. I mean, you see bikers,
Yes.
you see walkers, you see, you know, so it's got a lot of components, and it will have that water component if the Fenway and the state and all the people that have to get together, although they left the posts up for the dock, so,
That kind of broke down during the pandemic.
but
because
maybe it's going to
Fenway
come
was
forward,
struggling.
but that's another mode of transportation right there. So it is important.
Excellent point.
Okay. Anything from you, Commissioner Franny?
I don't have anything but kind of tagging on to Alt 19, if I can get my mask out of my earring. You know, hey, these are pandemic issues, right? Just came up. I was just going to say, actually, another goal there with Alt 19, Jennifer, is that long-awaited San Jose golf cart crossing, right?
That's what I just said, the golf cart crossing.
Yeah, did you
I
say
didn't
San
which
Jose?
one, but I said.
Oh, well, that was the
I
plan.
said the crossings
Yeah,
north of downtown.
okay, I thought you were talking
and
about
the golf
pedestrian.
cart. I
Okay.
wasn't.
All right, well, I tagged the name.
I wasn't
so-
trying to point it out.
I am trying to point it out, since I'm on that side and we're landlocked on that side unless you have your street ready.
Commissioner, one of your priority items is a golf cart infrastructure plan, if you will, that will kind of reevaluate all those crossings and
That's
start to
great.
look at things like charging stations and golf cart parking in the downtown and those kinds of things.
Good. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I mean, I think this is great. Excellent job, excellent work, and we've talked about it a lot. I feel really good about it.
Commissioner Dorgan?
No, but I have nothing different to add or more to add. I'm thankful for Commissioner Kynes bringing that out. I think that's an important part. That was also that also not only was scenic then, but covered a whole lot of other concepts and attitudes for our city. And you mentioned it when you talked about the real scenic part of it. We're the only city that really had that for everyone. So we had that beautiful stretch of access to the water and the view. So it was fantastic. Thank you. I support that.
Okay, Nikki, I am going to ask you to read the resolution by title only. And then whoever makes the motion, please include the addition of Alt 19.
Resolution 21-30, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Dunedin, Florida, adopting the citywide multimodal transportation plan for the City of Dunedin, Florida, providing for conflicts and severability, and providing for an effective date. And this has been reading of Resolution 2130 by title only.
I make the motion to include
Alt 19.
all 19.
Second.
Okay, that's Commissioner Gao and Vice Mayor Kynes. Thank you. Anybody from the public wish to come forward to speak to this item? Okay, final comments, anything, Commissioner Gao?
Yeah, again, it just goes back to, and this really, to my mind, this master plan has the opportunity to really transform our community, forward thinking. I really ask all of staff to really look at this through the lens of a bicyclist. If y'all saw a Facebook post I did the other day about an accident that happened in South County where 2 people were killed crossing a crosswalk, and it was the driver's fault. But to me, it was almost irrelevant because that's the first thing people do is look to point fingers and who was at fault. When actually there's a lot in road design that has some culpability to it. The length of roadways, the speed of roadways, the number of crosswalks, the number of how lit the roadways are. So there's a lot to be looked at. When you have normal crosswalks, what that really does is that tells the bicyclist and the pedestrian that they are entering car space. And that's what I really like about raised crosswalks, because raised crosswalks tell the cars that they're entering the space of a bicyclist and a pedestrian, and that's the way it should be. And so the idea that we have 150,000 miles of roadway in Dunedin, thank you, George, for that stat. But bicyclists and pedestrians are relegated to the trail, or at least that's the only place that they really feel safe. And then all that they do is get screamed at by the way that they act at any intersection, or even the pedestrians. That puts pedestrians in close proximity to bicyclists. And so that's never good. So accidents, so everybody's angry on the trail. So bicyclists are just angrier everywhere. And I am by no way, shape, or form anti-car. We all drive cars. I drive a car. But the more people that we can get, which evidence shows people want in the survey that was taken, that they prefer other forms of transportation, the more people you can get out of their car, the easier it is for those people who continue to want to drive their car. So even for those car lovers, this is still a wonderful idea and a wonderful plan. And I'm a big proponent of Amsterdam, and I will beat Amsterdam to death. But back in the 70s, that looked like any other metropolitan U.S. city, Chicago, New York, LA, and you look at it now and it's entirely different and everybody gets along. So nothing drastically changes. Nobody's rights are taken, nobody's freedoms are taken. It's get where you need to go the way you need to get to go and make sure that everybody is safe. And so that, to me, that's what's important about this plan. And so thank you very much.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Kynes.
You know, I would like to go to Amsterdam. You know, I had one other little small idea, because I'm down at the boxcar a lot. And now, Jeff, I'm not being mean to the bicyclists.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. But I will tell you, trying to get out of that parking lot that we have and get across the trail to the boxcar, I'm with both kids and I'm holding on to them, and they're 8 and 11. and they just don't watch. I'm saying you've got to just stand here and I'll tell you when you can go. Because that's a really, so I thought maybe we could do a people crossing, something fun, like a painted, this is a people crossing, where you go up to the window or something. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. Just to allow people to know that's a really dense area there and that you are trying, and you see a lot of kids and families and everyone trying to get over to the boxcar, and it gets really congested at that point.
I really like that. I think that's, and that whole area would really be cool.
And downtown is entirely different than the rest. And I was gonna wait till our strategic plan, maybe we should have a bypass, that actually you get off the trail and now you're on Douglas, safety permitting, so all those bicyclists are now on Douglas and they feel safe on Douglas. So they're bypassing the trail as it's going through downtown. Or just something, I'm just spitballing ideas.
Even a little painted,
But downtown
that could be an arts thing.
Right.
Well, you could even have just the lined thing, because I think,
Right, just something.
one of the greatest things that goes through our downtown, so I'm not sure I'd want to divert it, but doing like the kind of the markings like you do in a safety, like a safety zone,
Do
so to speak.
something fun.
Because at that point, right, it is so
Cool.
congested downtown.
It does, no, it's true.
And
It
that's a
really is.
wonderful problem to have, but right, we do have safety issues downtown.
So, Mayor, if I may, we'd have to shop that through the county, of course, since the trail is theirs. If that's the direction of the commission, we'd be happy to see if we can do something.
The people crossing.
Yeah.
Well, let's, why don't we talk about it at strategic planning?
Sure.
Versus,
I just, strategic planning, I mean, that's one component, I think, that we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about huge projects.
Right.
So,
But we're going to give you, you're going to ask us to give you some of our thoughts ahead of time.
Yes,
So that we have
I
something to
am.
think about before we get there.
We didn't set a date yet, though, did we? Is the date?
No, we're still struggling because we have you all booked up in March, so we're still looking for the date.
You're on the struggle bus?
We're on the struggle bus with a date for that one.
Struggle bus.
And the bus broke down, so.
COVID bus. Okay, Commissioner, any final comments?
No, I will say I've been to Amsterdam, and if I went to City of Delft, and my biggest memory of City of Delft was, the narrow roads, fewer cars, and like thousands of bikes by the train station, just thousands of bikes. It's a fascinating, at some point we decided in the United States that cars were king, and that's where we're at, but I think this is a great plan to try to maybe level the playing field a little bit better, so.
Commissioner Tornger, any final comments?
Oh, I can make comments about Amsterdam, but I
Oh, come on.
won't. Lots, I've been there a lot.
When you say it like that, one thing comes to
I have
mind, but I'm not
relatives
saying.
that don't live- I have relatives that don't live far away from there, and they have horses because they wear the klumpens. They still wear the klumpens. I want to make a comment about the amount of time that's been spent on this by everyone. I want to thank Forward Pinellas for all of the basic concepts that came down, and it's really all about safety, and it's all about us getting ready for a new world for us in the different transportations, and there's more to come. There's still the whole Omni to come, even here in Dunedin, we've got additional. So I think that's great that we spent all of this time doing this, and now we finally have a product that we can start working on. And so I think it's time to go to work and start implementing some of these things. Lots of great input from everybody. Comes right down to the end. I love this concept that Deborah's talking about, Commissioner Kynes. Just for that right there, and I was on the security task force for 4 years for the trail, and I understand but that's perfect for right there. In other words, this is a train station, and everybody be careful. And you got train stations in Europe, there used to be bikes coming through there. You just be careful when you're in that crowded area. And we just have to bikes might wonder what that's about, but they could stop going so fast. I think it's great. Right up to the very end, we get a comment like that. So never ends, but thank you.
Yeah, one thing I might want to add that we already started implementing one of the actions on the list. So we did implement the resolution of the adoption of the Safe Streets Pinellas. So it is a foundation of a commitment that we have made a step forward towards safer streets in Dunedin.
Thank you. Okay, Francis, thanks for all your work, and George too, but, you know, everybody on staff that contributed to all of this.
I was just going to take a second to say, this was a consultant-led project, but Frances made it hum. She spent weekends sitting on the trail. She spent weekends handing out literature and educating the public. I mean, she just did a tremendous job, and I just want to thank her for that.
Very good. Thank you, Francis.
Thank
We
you,
really
Francis.
appreciate it. Okay, roll call vote.
Commissioner Franny?
Aye.
Commissioner Chornga?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Kynes?
Aye.
Commissioner Gao?
Aye.
Mayor Buszowski?
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Thank you, guys. And
Congratulations.
then we have the proposed agenda for February 3rd, is that what it says? Any changes anybody needs? You good, Jennifer?
I am. I will move approval, if you're ready for that,
Yep,
or not.
yep. Commissioner Franny, is there a second?
Second?
Vice Mayor Kynes, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Nikki, you mentioned to me before the meeting that under informational items, you could give us your research on the issue that was raised on Tuesday on concern of us violating some regulation in regards to endorsements.
Yeah, and thank you for allowing me to pull up and review the article that was being referenced, which I believe was some statements made in December where 4 commissioners, or they're named by name, not by commissioner, but that's not really, it doesn't really matter for purposes of the research anyway. You all are commissioners, and that's part of your title, and some people report things that way. But I had a chance to look at the article. I didn't have any concerns with the endorsements. The charter provisions that are referenced are specific to your elections, which doesn't apply. And the longstanding rule under the elections laws has been that that the endorsement of another person's candidacy alone does not per se or standing alone violate 10431 subsection 1A Florida statutes. So thank you for the opportunity to
So in
look
other
into
words,
it
we're
further.
good, we didn't do anything wrong?
Right. Thank you for the opportunity to look into it further, though, because, you know, I always do want to make sure that I'm able to go back and check the things that are, you know, that are, and read the article that was being discussed. So appreciate the opportunity to do that.
Okay. Well, Commissioner Tornger, I know the gentleman said that he came to you with it and you brought him here, so if you'll let him know that we're good.
I surely will, yeah. He
Thank
sent me that article and asked me about the question, and I said, I don't think there's anything legal with this, but I don't know. I'm not a, you'd have to ask.
Well, and
the
that's
city
what
attorney.
audience to be heard is for.
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely. So he came, so he came here.
Okay. Anything else for the good of the order?
I have an item, if I may.
Uh-huh.
I think kind of time sensitive. Well, maybe not. And I'm in a little bit of a different territory. It's a little bit more, you know, Deborah, you jump in if I'm saying something out of the order. So I just wanted to bring an issue forward that was brought forward to me, and has to do with 545 Wood Street, otherwise known as St. Francis Church now, I believe is the title. Historic structure built in 1928, per Molly. Encompasses more than one lot. The preservation of this building as a historic structure is being hampered by the lack of a clear owner, and probably some of us are familiar with that. The city commissioner, the city manager are 2 of the 4 entities that can apply for historic designation, and I believe, Jennifer, you may have already done that, and HPAC tabled it because of this lack of clarity for ownership. So, but based on that, I believe that we want to move forward with this, and I believe that the City Commission should authorize staff to move forward with a title search, which is only $85. However, the greater costs are a real estate attorney that would have to review the results, which I have talked both with I had a conversation with city manager and city attorney this morning. There is a real estate attorney within Nikki's firm. It would cost additional money, though. Just to be clear, public purpose would be served by preserving historic structure in our downtown. And also it is adjacent to our new city hall and very visible to our visitors. So the reason it's here, when we discussed it, was because it is within Jennifer's delegated authority to spend those dollars. However, it's kind of a unique situation, and, you know, not typical for us to jump into this. So in the spirit of transparency, we thought it would be appropriate for me to bring it up tonight. And so, and for the commission itself to authorize those expenditures so that we can have clarity on this and move forward. So that's really what I wanted to lay out to the commission. And Vice Mayor,
You know,
I'd love to hear what you have to say.
They had no issue in, we moved to put a historic preservation on the building. But the issue is, and it's really going to require more than Molly could do, because it's purely legal, because there's something in the documents that say all the heirs must sign off. So that means, yes, a title search, and then you have to get the heirs and have them sign off. That's, you know, above what we can, you know, that's really legal. I give my complete assent to using Nikki's valuable time to be able to do that. I mean, it's something that's going to be totally in the legal realm.
Well, why don't we give direction to find out what the situation is and what's required of the situation, and then you can report back to us.
Well, we've talked about that already today, so maybe they want to speak to it now. And the next move is the title search, and that would require some attorney dollars to review it. You might want to say a cap of what we would be willing to put out, but.
Okay, well, see, and then that's just, that's just concerning because it's catching us all off guard when you're doing that, so.
Okay.
Right, so the decision that would come back before you still is whether or not to move forward with the historic application designation based on the results of the title report, and whether the city is able to locate who would be proper to notify and who would have the authority to represent the property owner, since there is an ownership issue. Or to not represent, but to who has authority to accept the decision of the commission, and most importantly for the applications that are initiated by the city or the city manager to be able to give the proper notice. So until we do that title report, we don't really know what's out there. The root deed that's available through general public records goes back to about the 60s, so we know we're going to have to roughly go back about 70 years or so. But that could be inaccurate as well, because that's not always representing everything in the chain of title. So all of that being said, we could do the title search and that analysis and come back to you with what is found before moving forward, and the commission would need to do that before authorizing the
Well, that's
application.
that's what I just said. I'm saying the same thing.
Okay,
Okay,
well, that's
good.
the
I
full
wasn't
legal
clear.
answer.
We're completely saying the same thing.
Well, that's the full, I just want you to, that's the full legal answer, yeah.
Yeah.
I
We'll
just-
find
I
out what
guess
the
we needed the
situation
legal
is before we determine
fine.
whether we're going to deem it historical.
I think what maybe the
Right, that we're
disconnect
on the
was,
same
we've gone as far as we can go without at least doing the title search. So I think thank you, that makes sense. Okay.
I agree.
And again, it's within Jennifer's purview, but it is different.
Right.
So it was just, let's just say it's out here, so there's
No,
no
it makes sense.
issues
It's
with the
gone
commission
It's
at all.
gone to
It has.
HVAC and it's not, and it can't go anywhere. Well, we have to overcome the hurdle.
Right, the tangle. We've got to untangle the errors of the notification, which is legal. But, I appreciate it, Mo, because not too long ago, I did bring it up and just said, we're going to need some help legally looking at the enabling resolution, the ordinance, or the COA certificate. So I just put it on the table. We may need some legal help to be very transparent. So that's great.
Well, I'm just trying to model after your good leadership. That's all. That's all, Deborah.
Gotcha. Okay, everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Yay. Wow.
Thank you for watching this City of Dunedin government meeting. If you'd like to review any part of this meeting or watch any previous government meeting coverage, you can watch these meetings online anytime through the city's website, dunedingov.com. Stay connected with everything Dunedin. Follow the city on this channel and on the city's Facebook page, through Twitter, and on the city's YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching this Dunedin television production.